All right, good morning, members. It is 9:15 Monday, September 21st. Looks like we are having a strong opening today. SPY is currently trading up a little bit over $1. We also have oil. UWTI is up about 70 cents or so a nice gain there as well. Let's look at SPY on the 5-minute here to see what levels we are going to be looking at the open. We have the very strong support of the 200 and 100 period moving averages. Those are at 196.16 and 196.23. We hit a high pre-market of 197.23 and are pulling back fairly significantly from that point. So these two supports should be tested here first thing in the morning. And resistance, we're going to be watching 196.89, the 20 period moving average. We also want to, let me switch over to the daily charts and weekly chart for SPY just so we can see where we are standing this week. I'm seeing a pretty defined pattern of where I think we will be trading. Let's switch over to the weekly chart first, and that is this channel right here, the 50-week moving average resistance and the 100-week moving average support. You can see last week we had the high touch right on the 50-week resistance, or excuse me, that's the 10-week resistance, but the 50-week is right above it. And we got the 200 or the 100 down here, which has held support after the market crash recovery. So we're going to be watching this pattern of 4 weeks of higher lows in a row. If we see that pattern break, we're going to be cautiously bearish. And the support level to watch for the 100 week is 193.05, and we're going to be watching resistance of the 10 week as it comes down here at 202.05. So I expect some consolidation in this range, and once we see a break either above 10 week resistance or below 100 week support, it will be a significant break out of that channel. So we'll see how that develops. On the weekly, we are currently trading above the 10-day moving average resistance that we closed below. So we are now looking at the high of the day yesterday from 198.68, and there's a long way to go there. I don't expect that much volatility today in the markets. I expect them a little calmer, obviously, because we do not have the Fed meeting, which led to the wide range of trading we've seen the end of the week yesterday. So let's switch on back over to Fidelity and look at some of the other stocks we are watching closely here this morning. We have Sunni is trading higher as well. As we know, Sunni trades pretty hand in hand with SPY usually, more so than most stocks. Currently, the ask is 1140. We had a high of day on Friday of 1153, so that's going to be a resistance level we are watching. I'm expecting we have this channel here first thing in the morning, support of the 100 period moving average support 1134, and the 200 period moving average resistance of 1140. So that's a 6 cents range, pretty tight. We'll see a break out of that in the first 10 minutes of trading, I expect, and that will dictate where we might see the day head. We'll also be following SPY very closely to see what Sunni is going to do. TTPH has been a big winner last week, and we are going to see if the volume keeps showing up. We have the 20 period resistance right now of 1244, pretty widespread, 15 cents. Only 12,000 volume here pre-market, so we're not seeing a whole lot. We do have support at 1202 down here, the 100 period, but that would be a fairly significant drop. Resistance is 1284, and after that we'll be looking at 13 psychological resistance and see if we can get a break above that. There's little enough resistance for TTPH that I expect it to keep going up as long as the bull volume shows up. Although we may see some consolidation, just as we saw a few days ago last week. We had a red day thrown in the mix, decreased volume, still maintained the higher low, so it was just nice healthy consolidation. We might see some more of that and get another chance to enter TTPH at a better entry. Watching Twitter, broke 28 for the first time in, I believe it was 7 or 8 days on Friday, so looking bullish. I would expect a test of $29 in the somewhat near future, currently trading above 28. We've got support at 27.90, the 100 period moving average, and the 200 periods all the way down at 27.69. So we have the high of the day resistance from Friday at 28.25, and then after that we're looking at 29, which we pulled back from when we played it last, which was our target, and it pulled back from 28.99, I believe was the exact number. GoPro is down pre-market here. We're going to be watching the low that it bounced off of, which was 31.32. That's going to be an essential level to hold. We have the moving average resistances up here, 34.47. The spike on the pre-market was here at 34.15, so a break at 34.15 would be a higher high. but as you can see, it's struggling with the 20 period moving average resistance. Got knocked down once, and this candlestick that was just above it is getting knocked down again. That resistance level is 33.65. Want to look at Tesla. Tesla is a really bullish chart, really bullish daily chart, currently up $3. The high of Friday was 263.82, so a break of that would be bullish. Strong support is all the way down here at 261. Excuse me, so we could see it pull back to there, but we got the support of the 20 period moving average 262.97 before that, and you can see pre-market we pulled back here and held that level and bounced up a little bit, so we're going to be watching the 20 period support there. Let's see now what we've got with Facebook. Facebook is forming lower highs here. This pre-market, we had a high here of 94.90 and a high here of 94.90 again, so that's some strong resistance. And we are watching support the 100 period. 94.49 is the level to hold. We had a low back here of 94.46, trying to form a higher low here and break 94.90 to see a bullish move. So if you guys have any tickers you want to look at, go ahead and shout them out. We are seeing UWTI having a very bullish day as oil is bouncing. Watching this 200 period moving average strong support of 11.15, and it's riding up the 20 period moving average support currently 11.31. So watch that level as well. PayPal currently above its 200 and 100 period moving averages 33.30 and 33.24 support. 20 period moving average support is 33.52. Pulling up PayPal on the daily chart so we can get a better idea of what key levels need to break to make the chart go bullish. We have key middle Bollinger Band resistance at 34.03 and 10-day moving average resistance, which knocked down the price Friday at 33.80. So look for a break of 33.80. We'll see what the 10-day moving average is when we start with the bell here, as it's going to drop down a little bit more. Key support to hold, we had a low on September 11th of 32.61 and a low Friday of 32.55. So 32.55 is a key level to hold. Otherwise, we could come down and test the low of August 26th, which was 31.71. VTL. Not much to look at pre-market here. Pulling up the daily chart. We got 8 minutes until the bell rings. Nice bullish high volume comparatively candlestick on Friday. We have the middle Bollinger Band resistance at 415. That should drop significantly with the bell. So we'll be watching that level. Currently 398 trading. So looking like $4 might be a psychological hurdle to get over today to start. SVXY. Currently getting knocked back by 200 period moving average resistance multiple times this morning. That level is 52.86. We have support of 51.94, this blue 100 period moving average. I expect the price to bounce between that channel, and once it does break that channel, it will indicate short-term direction for SVXY. On the daily chart, we see a Thursday there was a bearish reversal doji, and it was confirmed on Friday. 10-day moving average support of 50.66 did hold, so actually it closed below it by 2 cents, so that level was resistance, but we are currently above that now, also above the middle Bollinger Band support of 51.85. So we'll be looking at resistance. Friday the high was 54.02, so keep your eye on 54.02. Plug currently trading at 201. Watching the 20 period moving average support here of $2 even, and that's psychological support as well. Looking at the weekly chart for Plug, going to have a gap up here, and $2 you can see on August 21st and August 25th. The price pulled back from $2 twice. So we're going to be extended above the upper Bollinger Band. Watch volume. Volume Friday was 5.5 million. I wouldn't want to chase this stock above the upper Bollinger Band after 4 green days already, but you are free to trade at will. Sway. Got 6 minutes until the bell rings here. Sway doesn't have any pre-market volume. It closed the day bearish. Need to look at the daily chart to find what levels we are watching. The daily chart for Sway, we have the 10-day moving average resistance of 22.97. Looking like we're opening at 22.67 here, so that's going to be resistance. The low of the day on Friday was 22.67. Need to hold that mark and watch for a bullish MACD cross. There's also a double bottom potential here for Sway. We had a low on September 10th of 22.62. Okay, so there's some pre-market action on Sway right now as I'm speaking, and it's all the way up at 23.75. So looking like we might open higher here. 23.40 was resistance, middle Bollinger Band 23.57. If we open above that, that will be support, and a nice gap up for Sway here. VTL, I covered. Lulu, 54.40 currently. Let's see what the daily chart looks like. I know we had some pullback, looking for a little double bottom here to get the bounce going. We had a low on this pullback of 51.96. We're up at 54.40. High of the day on Friday was 54.29, so above that level already. The high of the day on Thursday was 55.12. Watch the 20-period moving average resistance of 54.54, and we have 200-period support down here at 53.74. So we're going to have a gap up here on Lulu, and a close above 55 will be a very bullish sign for Lulu when that does happen. AQXP. 4 minutes until the bell rings. 1949 is the 20-period moving average resistance. We've got support at 1832 and 1813. Looking at the daily chart to get an idea of what we've got. AQXP, that is a hard ticker to remember. Very defined range the past few months here. Upper Bollinger Band resistance of 1910. So we're going to be gapping open today. The high Friday was 1954, so I take that back. Not a gap open, but opening towards the high of the day. So watch 1954 resistance. Middle Bollinger Band support is 1738. And it's a very interesting chart because it is still wide range, but the candles don't look like it because of the gap up earlier in the chart in August when it went from $1 to $20. So we'll see. That's an interesting chart. I'm going to keep my eye on that one. NVAX. Not much pre-market volume. Need to look at the daily chart to see what's going on here. NVAX. We have middle Bollinger Band resistance at 1059. High of the day Friday was 1062. So the break at 1062 will be bullish. We have a pattern of higher lows here. 1, 2, 3, 4 days in a row. Getting some higher highs put in as well. Closing above the 100-day moving average resistance, which is now support at 1046. MACD is going for a bullish cross. Looking good here if we can see increased steady volume. 5.4 million is the level to beat. And again, turning the middle Bollinger Band into support would be a good sign. Friday was a good day, turning the 100-period moving average resistance into support. So that's another one to keep your eye on. Nice job bringing that up. So we got 2 minutes until the open here. TAXI for Walidi, and then we will look back at SPY to see where we're going to open. 731, nice little uptrend here to start pre-market. Pulling up the daily chart. And we're going to have a big gap up here. We closed Friday at 617. 10-day moving average resistance is 666. Middle Bollinger Band is 695, so we're skipping all of that. We're at 731. We have a high on September 8th of 725, so a higher high is going to be set today. But that is a big gap up, so be careful of the gap and trap. RSI is oversold. Resistance after 725, we are looking at 50-day moving average resistance of 774. So an interesting gap up there, but cautious of the gap and trap. All right, this is the last one I'm going to look at before the bell here. Apple, big drop here to start. We have 100 period moving average support 113.74 and 200 period 113.58. Those are key levels to hold. There is the bell. Going to watch SPY here to see how we are going to fare. We have the 200 and 100 period moving average supports, which we are going to be watching closely. TTPH down a wee bit here to start. We closed at 12.54, currently 12.50. Twitter, we're watching the $28 level, which we are currently below. And GoPro's down big. 31.32 is key essential support to hold for GoPro. So for SPY, we're watching the 20 period moving average resistance and the 200 period moving average support. So 196.80 and 196.22. Sunni high of day is 11.30. Watching resistance there. Make sure to update all your daily charts now with the extra trading day factored in this morning and to see where our supports and resistances show up. Here with Sunni, we have the 10-day moving average resistance at 11.51, middle Bollinger Band support of 11.01. So I expect some consolidating range here until we see a break of one or the other. Looking like we're going to see a new high of day for Sunni as we see SPY having a nice green candlestick to start the day. We tested the 200 period support the 10 minutes before the bell rang and saw a nice bounce off of that. Tesla is moving 265. Thank you, Zen. Up almost 2%. Let's see the levels we are watching here. Didn't see the test of all the supports that I highlighted on the watch list over the weekend, but a break of 265.50 will be very bullish. We broke it to 265.90. That's a good sign. That's a higher high than we saw on Thursday. Watch volume here, 3.7 million on Friday. Not seeing resistance until 270. So here's SPY quickly going red and testing the 200 period moving average again, and Sunni is coming down with it. So that's a key. 196.22 is very key to hold. TTPH is pulling back as well. 12.06 is the first moving average support on the 5-minute chart. Twitter is back above 28. So we're looking at resistance 28.25. High of the day is 28.09. Sunni just exploded on volume. Look at that big bid at 11.36. Not trading with SPY here. Big old bounce from the low of the day, 11.24. Hit a high of 11.38. We have resistance at 11.51. And we hit a high pre-market of 11.47. So watching Sunni close here as volume just showed up. And we have SPY coming up to test the high of the day as well. 6 cents away from that. Sunni testing its high of day. There's SPY setting a new high of day and Sunni setting a new high of day as well. TTPH, from here we're watching $12 even support. AQXP is having a gap up here. Low volume stock comparatively. We had 930,000 volume on Friday, so keep your eye on volume. Resistance of 22.38. So here's Sunni continuing up to 11.40, watching 11.47 resistance. Here's TTPH testing its 100 period moving average on the 5-minute chart. That level is 12.06. RSI is at 31. So we're broken below 12 now. We're going to see TTPH get oversold here and potentially catch a bounce. Going to look at multiple time frames to see where we can find support. and not seeing much. So we'll see if the bulls can recover this 1206 by the end of the candlestick in 1 minute. Not looking like it's going to happen. Here's Sunni continuing to a new high of day. 1147 is resistance, and then 1151. Facebook, nice break above 95. So here's the back test of this resistance on this candlestick for TTPH. We'll see if it can hold 1206. That would be a bullish sign. RSI bounced, as you can see. It did hit a low of 27. SPY continuing higher, looking bullish. Let's see about the 20-period moving average resistance. 196.77 is the key. Nice 2 bounces here off the 200-period moving average support. That's a strong sign so far. And turning the 20-period into support will be a strong sign as well. So TTPH is back to testing $12. Let's see what the volume was on Friday comparatively. Volume Friday was 10.3 million. Currently at 250,000, so nothing crazy in this dump. SPY continuing to set high of days. High of day, that is. And Twitter is pulling back under 28 resistance, so that might be a tough hurdle to get over today. We'll keep our eye on Twitter there. Tesla continuing very strong, up 2.2%. Breaking 265. We're looking at 270 for Tesla. Very bullish chart. Didn't see the pullback to the key support, which would have been ideal entry for us, but a very bullish daily and weekly chart. GoPro is dumping. Let's see if we're going to get an oversold bounce there. RSI is still at 37, so nothing too crazy. We had a pre-market low of 33.43, and we are now below that. So watching 31.32 on GoPro. TTPH trying to hold $12 here. SVXY, very bullish start here. 53.10, we are watching key support of 52.81. You want to see a back test of that and for it to hold and continue onwards. But this is a very bullish break, as it has been resistance all pre-market. Now we just need it to hold that support and continue on up. Looking at the daily chart to see where the next resistance is, as we almost have all moving average resistances as support on the 5-minute chart. I say almost just because I want to see this back test here to see strength. High of the day Friday was 54.02, so that is the target. So TTPH is below $12 now. New low of day. RSI is at 27. We're watching volume and for a bounce there. SPY is pulling back a little bit now. I assume it hit the 20-period resistance. That's exactly what happened. And we are now in a channel between 200-period moving average support, the red line, and 20-period moving average resistance, the green line. Bearish reversal candlestick, obviously. Gravestone doji currently showing a lot of selling off that resistance. We'll see which support or resistance is going to break there. So TTPH, we got a bounce coming up. RSI is now at 25. Support is all the way down at 1140. If it were to get to 1140 in the next 10 minutes, it will be a prime candidate for a nice bounce. That's still a long way to go, though. Well, the low of the day is 1177, so it is dropping fairly fast. GoPro all the way down to $33 here. Sunni holding up fairly well considering SPY is pulling back 40 cents from its high. RSI on TTPH is still at 25. And resistance is 1207, the 100 period moving average. Pretty fast moving bid and ask here on TTPH. 400,000 volume now. It's going to be all about SPY's reaction to this tightening channel. Watching the higher lows here. Nice bullish pattern. 196.74 is the resistance level. Twitter new low of day, very oversold here, under 18 RSI. 20 period moving average resistance is 27.70. Decreasing volume here. There will be a bounce in Twitter fairly soon. Thanks for bringing that to my attention. Look at this 15-minute support, exactly where the low of the day bounced off of, the 100 period moving average. Looking at all the time frames here, 15, 30, 60-minute. 60-minute 20 period moving average support of 27.69. So the 5-minute RSI being that oversold signals we could see a bounce here, holding this 200 period moving average support of 27.70 by the end of this candlestick in 3 minutes will be a bullish sign. TTPH hit a new low as well, so we're watching Twitter and TTPH for an oversold bounce here. SPY is back, regaining some of its ground, looking pretty good, holding support. So Twitter's RSI is 18. And TTPH RSI is 22. So a more drastic sell-off in Twitter. Trying to maintain this 27.62 low. TTPH with its new low of day, looking like we are going to come down to the 200 period moving average support of 1141. That is the target for potential entry into a bounce. Increasing volume here, we are seeing some dump. That increasing volume is not a good sign on a downtrend. RSI is now below 21. So 19 cents away now from our target for support. Low of the day on Friday was all the way down at 10.59, so going to set a higher low unless things fall apart here for TTPH, but we're getting really close to our target for entry. RSI is now under 20. 1141 is support. Big spread in the bid and the ask here. Try and catch some shares on the bid if you are going to the bounce. And again, if you are trying to play the support, you want to put your bid in a few ticks above the support level to make sure you get filled. SPY now setting a new high of day. Currently over that 20 period moving average resistance. Excuse me, it's not at a new high of day yet. Pushing it down 2 cents. So there's the new high of day. Support is the 20 period now at 196.75. Want to see a back test and for it to hold 196.75. High of pre-market was 197.24. That is the next target to get above. Tesla up towards its high of day as well. And so is Sunni. So Tesla and Sunni are trading pretty hand in hand with SPY thus far. Twitter rejected on the back test of 200 period moving average support or resistance, sorry. So we'll see if it can get above that level. That's going to be holding down any kind of bounce until it can get above it. And TTPH seeing a green candlestick, the low of 1152. We'll see if that can hold. RSI got all the way down to 19. So SPY hit a high of 197. We'll see if it can break 197.24. Daily chart pulling it up for SPY, and we see a high of day on Friday of 198.68. So a lot of room to go after 197.24. Twitter key to turn into support is 27.70. Facebook is back over 95. PCLN is over 1300 resistance. And SPY is 20 cents short of the high pre-market. So a bullish start to the day with SPY being able to break this 20 period moving average resistance. Going to see an increase of volume, it looks like. Bullish MACD cross. All good signs. And we're going to be watching these moving average supports all day for any kind of pullback. These are very key. If we break below those, it will be bearish. So Twitter rejected from the 200 period moving average resistance on the 5-minute chart again for a second time, and looking to test it now again. Here comes TTPH coming down potentially to test the low of the day at 1152. There it is on the bid. If it holds here, it will be a bullish sign, and there is the break. Let's see if it gets hit on the bid. Nope, a bid just stepped in to save it. Very close here. So the bulls are trying to hold 1152. There is the break, and we have another quick drop coming down to the 200 period moving average support of 1141. RSI is under 18. Fast drop here as the bids are getting wiped out. RSI is 16. This is a high volume. Well, the candle's about to close, so we're not going to see an increase in bearish volume, but definitely a strong pullback. And here's the bounce. We'll see if the bounce is able to maintain. This 200 period is now resistance at 1141. That's going to be the key to get above on a bounce. Starting the day with 4 big red candlesticks. Certainly moves fast in both directions, with not many, with bids moving, dropping quickly, and also when ask slaps happen, they move quickly as well. So we're right now at the 200 period moving average resistance of 1142. We'll see if we can get back over it. Nice little lower wick here if we are able to regain this support. RSI is still under 17. Volume now coming up on 900,000. SPY is very close to its high of day, looking to set a new one there. GoPro lost $33 support, now down 6.5%. Still not very oversold there compared to TTPH. Twitter still fighting that resistance, second candlestick getting rejected in a row. TTPH needs to get back in the 1140s here. So it has regained the support of 1142. Now we need it to hold and see some bullish volume show up to come up and test these exponential moving average resistances. First level is 1159. High of the previous candlestick is 1169. So here's the bounce playing out. Tight stop losses and playing this 200 period moving average support. Nice bid at 1153, but 1154 is being a little stubborn. So some resistance there at 1154 as that big bid of 1153 was just erased. Still got that wide bid and ask. Kind of play that you want to be buying on the bid and selling on the ask for sure. So watch 1154 for TTPH. Morning Peggy, we got Facebook looking good, setting a new high, higher lows pattern. RSI is approaching 70. 95.22 currently, looking at the daily chart. We know we have 95 as support. Resistance, the high of the day on Friday was 95.19. We already broke that, setting a new high now at 95.30. High of the day on Thursday was 95.51. So after 95.51, we are looking at, I'm seeing 96.10 from August 19th. That was a high. So 95.51, 96.10. Support is the 20 period moving average of 94.74. But that's a ways away, and we still are seeing some bullish follow through here. Netflix. Oversold here this morning and getting rejected from this line. This is the same line that I drew weeks ago and keep seeing price movement related to it. And right now we are seeing it as resistance. That level is 101.90. We have three higher lows here. Want to see if that pattern maintains. And support, let me look at the daily chart for Netflix. Resistance is the middle Bollinger Band of 103.42, and support is 104 cents, the 100-day moving average support. Twitter now, new low of day. There are two rejections from the 200 period moving average resistance, proved too strong, and now seeing another leg down. So let's look at Twitter and see where we can find some support here on the daily chart. TTPH is struggling with 1150 and 1154. Tight stop losses there. Twitter, we have the 10-day moving average support at 2742. We also have the 200 period hourly support at 2755. Here comes the TTPH 1154 test. Need to see a break there for the bulls. FCX selling off as well. Currently RSI is 24. Let's look at the daily chart for support of FCX. Middle Bollinger Band support of 1036. Low Friday of 1054. So watch to see if 1054 can hold. 1055 is the low on the day. If we see a break at 1054, entry would be the middle Bollinger Band support. So there's TTPH breaking 1154 and seeing more follow through, confirming the bullish reversal here, setting a higher high, maintaining higher lows, turning the 200 period back into support. Nice quick bounce there off the oversold move. Hitting the 4 period exponential moving average resistance of 1159. RSI is still coming off oversold at 27. Sunni, a new low of day. Take that back. It set a low on the first 5 minutes of 1124 and it's currently testing that level. We'll see if Sunni can set a double bottom here at 1124. TTPH looking good. Want to get into the 1160s here. Anybody grab this bounce? Looking for a close in the next 2.5 minutes over 1160. Good. Glad to hear it, Zen. Not sure how much of this bounce is going to play out here. 100 period moving average resistance is all the way up at 1206, but we got the 8 period exponential at 1179. Watching volume here, want to see an increase. We got 2 minutes left in this candlestick. Need the bids to start building up. 1165, decent sized bid there. Just broke. Getting into the 1170s now. Need the bids to catch up. There we go. So we're going to see an increase in volume here. Good sign for the bulls. And 1180 is the 8 period exponential moving average resistance. Potentially walking up your stop losses here to protect you from a fast drop, just as we can see how quickly the bid and the ask move here. Sunni broke a new low of day. Sunni middle Bollinger Band $11 even. 10-day moving average resistance 1149. Twitter's still struggling with the 200 period moving average resistance. And it looks like SPY might be back in the channel of 20 period resistance and 200 period support. So failing the back test currently of the 20 period moving average support, it broke through it. Didn't test it on these two candlesticks, and now when it tried to test it, it fell right through it on increasing bearish volume. So expecting a potential another test of 196.23 support. TTPH might now come back and test the 200 period moving average support of 1143. Want to see that hold and a higher high to set above 1174. Good job, Zen. Certainly got to be quick with this TTPH play today. Watching this pattern still, 4 candles in a row of higher lows. The lows of the previous candlestick was 1148. Want to see that level hold. Let's check out Tesla. Consolidating a bit here, 20 period moving average support of 264.09. Facebook keeps going back and forth above 95 and below it. That'll be a key level to watch where it closes today. Above it will be bullish and below it bearish. So a nice lower wick here on the 5-minute candlestick for TTPH. We'll see if we can break above 1174. That will be bullish. SPY continuing to pull back below the 20 period resistance. It back tested it with the high of this candlestick and was knocked down again. Unable to hold it as support. Looking for a test now again of 196.23. TTPH back in the 1170s, looking for a break of 1174. And looking like we're going to get that here. Just need one little ask slap, and it didn't happen. Oh, it actually did happen. So we did set a higher high. 3 candlesticks in a row of higher highs and higher lows. $12.06 100 period moving average resistance. In a pretty deadlock here between 1171 and 1176. And there is the bullish break. Up into the 1180s. Sunni resistance is 1133, expecting it to trade between 11 and 1150, 1149, which is the 10-day moving average resistance. High of the day on Friday hit 10-day moving average resistance and pulled back. So we got a range of 49 cents here, tightening channel, and once we see a break of that, it will give us a lot of information. So $11 support, $11.49 resistance. And seeing pretty reactive to SPY here. Nice hammer candlestick on SPY, setting a higher low. Now looking to set a higher high. And to do that, we got to break 197.08, so a little bit of work to do. Netflix got above the 101.90 mark and strong resistance at 102.70. 100 and 200 period moving average resistance, and we got the 20 period moving average resistance is going to line up with those the next 5-minute candlestick. So if you think Netflix is going to be bearish today, entry for a short position might be on this resistance test. $11.81 is the high on this bounce for TTPH. Nice gain, 40-cent gain from the target of $11.41. It dropped all the way to $11.26. But entry at any point around the 200 period moving average support was a nice little win. We knew that that would be a good entry because RSI was oversold under 20. Under 30 is oversold, so when we see it under 20, we know a bounce is in the near future. And seeing that key support, perfect area to get a bounce off of. So using RSI in conjunction with moving average supports, the longer the time period, the better. 200 period support is much stronger than 10 period support. So when those things line up, you know it's a good play. If we were watching this oversold bounce off of 20 period moving average support, I would have been a lot less confident. So SPY looking to break 11.81 and continue this bounce up to $12, but seeing a little bit of resistance there. So SPY wants to see a break of 196.84. That's the high of this candlestick, currently coming down to backtest the 20 period support of 196.69. 1 minute to close here in the candlestick, forming a gravestone doji, not a bullish sign. Sunni getting rejected from the 20 period moving average resistance and the 100 period moving average resistance, 1133 and 1137. Need to close above those levels. 1140 is also strong resistance that knocked down the price first thing. Turning all of those into support would be a very bullish sign for Sunni on the day. So a bearish reversal candlestick here for TTPH. We're going to watch for confirmation. Gravestone little doji, 1174. Currently about to see a lower low for the first time on this bounce. So keep those stops tight. Ideally looking for a higher low above 1152, which was set on this hammer. The 200 simple moving average. For the 5-minute chart, you can check out the video in the members page. I go over how I set up my 5-minute chart, but Real quick, it's 20 period, 100 period, 200 period, simple moving averages, 8 period, 4 period, exponential moving averages. But the video will tell you everything. And there's a lot of price action here bouncing around with TTPH. 1152 is the level to maintain. 1145 is the must hold support. Good job, Zen. I was a little weary of your entry. Glad you saw that as well. If it's different than mine, John, it is probably because it's not factoring in pre-market. You can see pre-market here for TTPH. We have the 200 period rising up because it's factoring in all this trading. So TTPH with another nice little lower wick here, setting a higher low. We'll see how this candlestick closes in the next 3 minutes. Love the terminology, Shaya. Although we did have a lower low here, so I'm not seeing the rubber band effect just because we had a low set first thing and then a lower low. If this were a higher low, it would be a tightening range. But because it was a lower low, it is not. But we're clearly seeing these resistances knocking the price down. And it will be very important to maintain this higher low pattern we are seeing. And we need to see a close above the 20 period moving average resistance so we can work on the 200 period. So SPY did maintain that 20 period moving average support on the back test. That's a good sign, and set a third higher high in a row. So soon it gets interesting if it does set a new high of day. If you have a good broker, John, they should be able to tell you right away. I really like Fidelity for that reason. I hop in the chat, they answer my question very quickly. I've used their chat service at least 50 times, probably more like 100 times, just for quick questions. Every broker should have that feature. So we're seeing TTPH now coming down. Need to hold this 1152 to keep the higher lows going, and the 1145 is the essential level to hold. So we're cautiously bullish on SPY for today. Expecting to see this consolidation. This will be a rubber band effect in my opinion on SPY. Here is a lower high compared to the high we saw this morning. Here are two higher lows. So we'll see if we break below this low of 196.47 or above this high of 196.85. Looking like TTPH is going to test this 1152 level. Netflix is coming up to the key resistance of 102.70. We have three moving averages all aligning at that resistance band. Apple seeing consolidation. We've got support down here, the 20 period at 114.11. Decreasing volume, so that's a good sign for the bulls on any consolidation period. Looks like Plug had a very bullish start to the day. Missed some upside move there. But after the 4-day run, risk to reward ratio favored risk in that instance. So I'm going to sign off here at 10:30. I want to remind everybody again, at 12 o'clock I'm coming back on for a little rundown of some research and due diligence. Normally I don't have anything to do with that, but some things in my life aligned recently over the weekend, and we have a high risk, high reward penny stock. I would like to share with you guys that opportunity. Most people, they'll buy into their penny stock or whatever and then alert it to their members and then sell in the hype. That obviously I'm not going to do that. I have no position. I'm giving you guys this information with plenty of time to do your own research or develop your own plan, as the movement I am expecting is not going to come until midweek at the earliest, and potentially as early as next week, and potentially not at all. But we are going to know before entering our trade if there's some key developments taking place or not, and I'll go over all of that at noon. Make sure you tune into that, and we will have it saved on the live broadcast as well in case you cannot make it. But it involves a hemp marijuana penny stock, and I would have to say that out of everything I know about stocks, I know hemp penny stocks more than anything. That's how I entered the market. That's how I learned technical analysis. First stock I ever bought was a hemp penny stock, and I have certainly had much larger gains and losses in that realm. So I will be happy to share everything I know about it, and there is some nice potential for profit there. So we just saw TTPH make a nice break up into the 1180s. That was a very bullish sign. Looks like it held 1152. We had 1152 low here on the hammer and 1153 here on this candlestick. Bullish volume spike and a higher high set above the high of 1181. So we came all the way up to 1187. Resistance is this 20 period moving average, currently 1205 and dropping every 5 minutes. Watching this MACD here for a bullish cross. This volume is a very encouraging sign off that 1152 support. So higher lows continuing to be set. Twitter back above its 200 period moving average, currently going to hit 100 period moving average 27.88. Thanks for pointing that out, Sarah. I would expect potentially a rejection here because we got the 20 period and the 100 period moving average resistance, although we do have a bullish MACD cross and a nice strong bounce on increasing volume. So that's a bit of a riskier play. Tesla is on fire. 267.66, chugging along towards our 270 target. Not saying it's going to hit there today, but that is the next resistance we're seeing, so it's going to go as high as the bulls will take it, and so far they are certainly playing bullish on Tesla. SPY making another bullish push to 197. You can see that pattern I was talking about. of consolidation. We had the high here and the low here. Saw a break above the high of 196.85 and the bulls are running with it. We are now looking for a break of the high of day, 197.08. But you can see these lower wicks on these three green candlesticks are the higher lows pattern and looking very bullish here for SPY. TTPH is on fire. That bounce off the 200 period moving average was money. Resistance is being hit here, 12.03. We hit a high of 12 even psychological resistance and are pulling back. Sweet trade there. Congratulations to anyone who got a piece of it. Glad we could cover it live here on the webcam. We've got P halted. Apparently it's some very bullish news. Went from 19.15 to 21.30 in 15 minutes. Awesome, Zen. You chose the exact trades to make today. So here's P back open again and continuing higher. 21.80. Apparently very bullish news here. Have no idea what it is. Thanks for bringing that to our attention. Perfect example of chat room community, multiple eyes scanning the markets. Breakout on P above the upper Bollinger Band resistance on the daily chart by a long shot. Up above the upper Bollinger Band resistance on the weekly chart, we got resistance at $23 on the weekly chart. And that is the 100-week moving average resistance. For Twitter, a swing, I'm going to need to see a close above $28. It's been rejected multiple times. If we see a close above $28, I am very confident in a test of $29 resistance. So watching P here for potential short opportunity. If we come up and hit $23 within the next 5 to 10 minutes, it could be a nice short. If anybody wants to check out the news and fill us in as to why P is running, just out of curiosity, that would be great. Watching this candlestick here. Thank you, Jason. So we know rumors are very good for shorting because we see hype and then it dissolves very quickly. Rumors do not last. 22.10 is the high today. Candlestick closes in less than a minute. Not a bearish reversal candlestick yet. I would love to see P hit $23 in the next 5-minute candlestick. It would be a nice short opportunity. Sunni, high of day. Nice break over key 5-minute. Resistance of 1141 and want to see a back test and to hold that support level. Not convincing yet. Also, Facebook is having a very bullish breakout. That is going to have a short opportunity as well pretty soon. RSI is at 75. Resistance of 95.51 has been broken, so next resistance is 96.10. Netflix, nice break above the key resistance. Want to see a back test if you are feeling bullish on Netflix today. Entry might be on this back test of 102.90 support. I take that back, it's 102.70 support, 200 period moving average. Sunni watching very closely that 200 period on the 5 minute, currently getting rejected from it. That's a key level to turn into support. So P here, 22.33, continuing upward. We're watching $23. The weekly resistance is 23.03. Facebook continuing higher as well. RSI is now at 76. So we're watching Facebook and P for short opportunities. So we're seeing a bearish reversal candlestick forming on P here. Still 2.5 minutes to go until the candlestick closes, so we are cautious. Currently a gravestone doji or inverted hammer. Bearish reversal pattern. Low is 21.97 on this candlestick. Currently trying to maintain 22 even support. Facebook testing its high of day again, 95.68. If it cannot bust through this level, it might be a double top. Sunni back above 1140, a nice bullish sign there. Rejection again for Facebook there. And a lower low here on P. So P looking like it's starting the pullback. If you are going short, enter a nice tight stop as we have not seen confirmation yet. Facebook 968 rejected the price twice. Low of this candlestick is 95.54, seeing a bearish reversal candlestick forming there as well with less than 2 minutes until this candlestick forms. P and Facebook looking like potential short opportunities are playing out. Watching $22 resistance for P now. Facebook inverted hammer, reversal pattern, less than 1 minute until it's closed, increase in volume, looking for a lower low to set. So P recovered, but still forming that doji at the top of an uptrend, so it is still a bearish reversal candlestick. And we will look for confirmation on this next candle. TTPH rejected from 12 and coming back down. Need to see a higher low above 1153 to form. There is Facebook's inverted hammer, bearish reversal pattern. Low of this candlestick is 95.52. Break below 95.50 for Facebook will be continuation downward. Need to see confirmation of this bearish reversal with another red candlestick. P, if we see a break of 21.75, it will be bearish as well. And we got Sunni testing its high of day with SPY really close to its high of day. So SPY is looking good. A break here, and there's the break, a higher high. SPY is looking really good. So Facebook looking for a break of 95.50. Currently not seeing confirmation of this bearish reversal yet. That is why entries before confirmation require tight stop losses. P confirming the bearish reversal with the break of 21.75, lower low. 4-period exponential moving average support is 21.58. Nice job, Brad. Expecting some further downside for P here. Watching Facebook for this break of 95.50, getting close. Low of this candlestick for P is 21.63. A break of 21.63 signals some more downside. Facebook is holding up fairly strong here because SPY is breaking out to new highs. 95.68 is key resistance to watch. A break of that will ruin this short. Sunni breakout along with SPY. 11.51 is resistance. Want to see a back test and this 20 period 11.41 to hold. So being very careful with P here, as we could see a bearish reversal pattern confirmation or not, as we are coming close to a green candlestick flirting back and forth. Still have this high on Facebook of 95.68, still resistance, but SPY keeps slowly heading upwards. Facebook just rejected from a third time from 95.68, so that is some very key resistance. SPY looking great here this morning. Sign number one for a bullish day was the break right here of the 20 period moving average resistance, and then it set a higher low. And the second confirmation of a very bullish day would be when we had a high here of 196.85. Came down, set a higher low, and then broke these two highs that pulled back. Then we broke the high of day on increased volume, big green candlestick. The bulls are in control of SPY for the time being. There's P confirming the bearish reversal. 1 minute here left to go or less, and nice follow through to the downside. 21.58 is the low of this candlestick, and continuing to drop now, 21.55. Nice short working out here for Pandora. Alright, I'm going to sign off here. I'm going to leave this up and unplug the mic. And we will continue to cover Sunni, which is looking very bullish, watching for an 11.51 break. Close above 11.51 is bullish for Sunni. And I will be back at noon to discuss this high risk, high reward penny stock and share any of the information I have with you guys, let you guys make your own decisions. Last look VJ just snuck it in there. Broke above key resistance, very bullish. You can see it was knocked down many times by the 200 period moving average resistance all morning. Finally broke above it. Back tested it with this candlestick, closed below it, so it looked like it might lose it, but this 20 period moving average support maintained, and this breakout is confirming the strong 200 period moving average support now. So 53.14. Looking at the daily chart, I believe 53 was our target. High of the day yesterday is 54.02. Okay, so 54 was the target. Could see a move to 54 today after turning the 200 period into support. Bullish sign. Watch Sunni in 1151. And still want to see a back test and hold of this 200 period moving average support, which has not happened yet. So Facebook short is not working out. Still has not broken that key resistance, but bearish reversal was not confirmed. Here is an example of a bearish reversal candlestick, and here is a green one, not confirming it, as I just said. There's the break of the 995.68 resistance, and compare it to P, which had the same bearish reversal looking candlestick form and then confirmed it significantly with the next red candle. That was the confirmation, whereas for Facebook it was a green one, not confirming. Tesla breaking out. 270 target, looking great. Very bullish daily and weekly chart. Upper Bollinger Band on the daily chart is 272, so we're looking good to 270. RSI is getting a little overbought, nothing insane. Sunni break of 1151, great sign. And SPY looking very bullish. Look at these candlesticks. Getting a little extended to the upside here, so if you are in bullish positions, potentially looking to take some profit as SPY is going to pull back here in the near future, maybe getting some re-entry in positions. That being said, we have no bearish reversal signs here on SPY yet. I'm just preparing you. In the next 5-10 minutes, we will see some consolidation. Nice increase in volume here on the 5-minute chart for SPY. All right, I'm signing off. We have a nice action-packed morning here, lots of plays, and I will be back to see you this afternoon. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great rest of your morning.